Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Knowledge Box and Cooking. Today I'm going to explain SSLC English language, the discovery summary. The Discovery is the play written by Herman Old. This play is based on Christopher Columbus, the real voyage. He was succeeded in this feat even though his crew was opposing him in the task. He saw the light of the New World on the night of 11th October 1492. Based on this, Herman Old builds up a conflict of a great imagination. We came to know that how this conflict was resolved by the author. The seaman was singing that there was a small barrel of rum. The kingdom came. The devil laughed, but God was dumb. Whenever Columbus heard this song, he was furious. John thought that to stop the singing, Diego was protested that to keep themselves idle, they would sing. They pretended to be working with interest. At that time, Pedro Gutierrez came and asked who was that. Diego Garcia that John Patino stood and said they were there. Pedro was surprised to see them there. He wanted to talk and said it's dark and he would welcome the moon. Diego said that the some of them would welcome the cost of the pain. Pedro questioned him why was he impatient. Diego said that there are some limits to patience. Most of the crew's seamen were desperate and they had no patience. They wanted to go home. Diego continued his talk and said that they were like bats trying to fly by day. Why should he control the 50 men by man? For that, Pedro said that they were not entertaining rebellious thoughts. Diego said that the word is too ugly, but Pedro said that their deed was ugly. John finished his job and went away. Columbus came. He was the captain of the ship. He was a tall, well-built man. Though he was 46, his hair was prematurely white, fair complexion, almost pink and healthy. He looked trustworthy but very sad. He saw that the Don Pedro was talking with Diego and felt little suspicious. He turned to Diego and said that the candle on the foremast was unsteady. Make it right. Diego felt angry but kept quiet. Columbus warned him what he was doing. He must know his place. Diego was not hiding his feeling, went away. Again, Columbus heard Simon's song. Both Columbus and Pedro moved to the quarter deck. Columbus said to Pedro that the seamen drank too much. Pedro replied that they were simple men and they drank for relaxation and we shouldn't put our vision on them. Impatiently, Columbus said that it was his will, that is enough. Columbus understood the situation and asked sorry and said that I should control my tongue. Here my will means God will. That was not enough. Pedro, not satisfied by his talk, and said that he didn't claim his conflict. Again they heard the seaman's song. Columbus shouted and cursed their singing and commanded them to stop. Pedro went off. Columbus was alone, looking into the sea, and said to himself, why God would implant the desire and not provide the solution? What's the mystery? Suddenly Pepe runs up and Columbus pretended or surprised to see him and asked, who was that? Pepe said that was he Pepe. When Columbus asked him whether he had been there all the time, Pepe replied that he was off duty. Columbus questioned him why he wasn't down below. Pepe thought he was privileged and said that he prefers to accompany him only if he was on the way to come there. He didn't speak to them and hated them. Don Pedro was the best and said that expected him all had doubts. Columbus said that Pepe was too young to have faith and thanked him. Again they heard the seaman song. Pepe talked to please Columbus, so he said that the seamen were horrible and drank too much to forget themselves. Columbus said they were poor fellows. Pepe came nearer to Columbus and said that Captain, you should be careful. Sometimes they are dangerous. Again they hear the song. Now the song is sung forcefully. Columbus said that it was very ugly. He commanded Don Pedro to stop the song and asked that what you think about the seamen. Might they become dangerous? Don Pedro returns. Columbus said Pepe to go from that place, but he didn't go out. Again he questioned Don Pedro that the singing changes to a roar. This shows their discontentment. It was bad. The noise became louder. Pedro came and said that the seamen were ignoring his order. Columbus got angry and asked them to show who was that mischief or troublemaker. Columbus asked Pepe what were the words. Almost weeping, he said that the Santa Maria would be the lighter for his dead body. Columbus bitterly asked that he said readily. Francis apologized and he could understand that what were the feelings of Columbus. Columbus asked him to the uh, Guillermo Ayres. Francisco said that it was most possible. Columbus said that it is discipline to obey the order. Francisco said that in that situation, disrespective was the thing of the past. Then Columbus said Don Pedro to send him, whether he shall know how the jail conditions should be. When Don Pedro on his halfway, Guillermo Ayres and other seamen rushed towards Columbus. They were all very angry and like the infuriated animals. Seeing this, Columbia thundered and made them stop. He said if they move forward, the first man should spend his night in the jail. Guillermo questioned that there were 30 members who were put into jail. Columbus very calmly and said that if nobody was there, he would only reform it himself and he was not ready to listen anymore. Guillermo with high excitement and asked that they stood too much. They are all common men with feelings. They want to go back home and join their families. He said that Santa Maria shall turn her lever towards Spain at once, otherwise we were all sheep but not men at all. Columbus asked who shall navigate her to Spain. Guillermo answered that plenty of the people that to do this. They all understood that Columbus had devil with him. He didn't know the correct route. Simply going to east was what was the use? All of them lost their hopes. If the easterly wind comes, they were not men unused to the sea. That devil's track leads them to nowhere. It was better to go back to home. All the seamen showed no signs of scent. Columbus appealing for silence. He was paler than his habit but very calm. Columbus wanted to convince Don Guillermo, so he said that Guillermo was an excellent sailor and a man of abundant resourcefulness. He had the ability to do the right thinking, so he did not run away from that. Definitely, he would achieve prosperity. He would an able bodied seaman. He must obey his captain. And captain should obey the royal sovereigns of Spain, those who sent. It should be clear that they shall not fall out of the task. Columbus commanded them to return to their duties again, an understandable stop or interval. Diego breaks out the silence and said that these were the wars for children. It was silly. They were a man and had reason with them. Columbus made them silent. His tone of authority calms the angry seamen. They were murmuring, but Columbus turns and went up to the stage where they stands and looks down. Diego asked Columbus that was he on the holy ground. Suddenly a loud chore was heard. They shouted as to have him down, pitch him overboard, put him in jail, devil's tool, Italian enemy, etc. They were running towards Columbus. Pepe came in between and stand with arms spread out. Pepe shouted to seamen. They were all cowards. First they would have killed him. The crowd roared and attacked Pepe and said to him that he was a devil's dog. Columbus came forward and said that, "Is this child stand between him and death?" Silence followed. Columbus gave a speech. "This is a voyage of discovery. I set out to discover our new world that is beyond unknown seas, to find new wealth. This is all for our king and queen. We should sacrifice to get something back to God. But I have discovered that when a man is given a vision, he should follow. Loyalty passes like a seaweed, and friendship breaks as a mast. Discipline, duty, and honorable obedience are like bubbles that burst at the first touch." So far, I discovered this. Pepe said that he was a loyal and obedient and devoted servant to Captain. Columbus said with some emotion that he was not ungrateful. Pedro, with dignity, said that his loyalty had never been questioned and his salutes. Columbus also salutes the Pedro and said that sometimes he was silent, but his speech revealed his loyalty clear. For that, Captain thanked him. Columbus turns and looks out at sea. He looks more earnestly into the darkness. Some men moved. The captain turns back. John said that they were simple men. For the captain questioned, shall simple men judge their better? At that, Guillermo took a decision and said confidently that they may wait till the next day. Simultaneously, the chorus shouted with joy, "A light land, land!" A sailor comes running on with joy and excitement. Sailor asks Columbus that did he see the light. All were made with joy and with the gratitude prayed. At last, Mother of God blessed them. Columbus quite authoritatively said to Don Pedro that he should give the order to stop the ship at land. Finally, they discovered the new land. Thank you for watching.